Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to FightFest. My name is Jack Kelly and I have the honour of being your host for this weekend's event. We're here at Labman HQ just outside Middlesbrough with their fantastic modern robot fighting combat arena. We have several events lined up for you today. We have the first ever UK Hobbyweight Championships, our Annihilator Cup, where 2 sets of 5 robots will battle it out in a melee of mayhem. Each time, one competitor will be eliminated until there is only one left from both heats. These 2 robots will then compete to establish who is the king of our Annihilator Challenge. Several individual challenger battles where robots will battle for bragging rights and where scores are settled. We also have our Battle of the Isles where competitors from 3 of the 4 nations will battle it out to establish who is the best of Britain. Okay, so here we are inside the FightFest arena. This is a top-of-the-range, high-tech, bulletproof polycarbonate fighting enclosure. It's sponsored by Wranglebox and Team Immersion this morning. We have 2 out of the arena zones, 1 in each corner. We also have a pit where several robots will meet their doom. The arena is fully enclosed and constructed to the highest levels of safety. We think it's going to be a fantastic arena for the battles we have for you today.
So it's the kind of traditional full pressure pneumatic system. It's running on CO2 and then it's got the ram in the centre and it's rear hinged.
So the main thing is the weapon at the front, which spins around, tops people's wheels, annoys people a bit.
This is Lunatic 2. The main advantage with this is that I can adapt this whole front section. I can take off and swap and change to whoever I'm fighting. My son Oliver, he is driving his own robot in the competition, so we've brought 2 featherweights. Though it would be very nice that we could gang up and run on the same competition, but unfortunately he's in his own competition. But he is becoming quite adept in helping me fix these robots.
So combustion is very different for me. It's a spinner. I'm normally the anti-spinner advocate, but my dirty secret is I did build a spinner. So combustion's been sat on the shelf for a long time, taking a backseat to explosion. And recently, the last year or so, there's been a few more featherweight events pop up, and we've thought it's a shame to have it sat there not doing anything. And maybe we should give this spinner lark a go.
Straddle is a big wheelie spinner with a bar in the middle, and the idea is I'm going to be driving over the other robot and uppercutting them from above with the bar. I think I just like the efficiency of how you can deliver energy, especially with a single-tooth blade like that, because the other robot is essentially coming twice as far into the blade before it delivers the hit. And compared to, say, a horizontal spinner, where when you hit something, you might ping off in one direction and they ping off in the other, with a vertical spinner, you're planting yourself down into the ground while delivering all that energy up into them.
Defences hold up on this machine.
Well, we haven't got too many options, but the one we'll be running in the Annihilator is a big plastic plough.
Okay.
We're hoping that there's a variety of spinners in there, which are the most dangerous ones. So we're going to use this big plastic plough to hopefully defend against them.
2 kilogram, 30 centimetre diameter vertical disc, Hardock 600, and in theory it spins about 6,500 RPM. Enough to give it a really nice gyro, so it spins fast.
We don't want to just sit in the corner because someone's going to spot us sat there and they're going to go for us, and that's no fun. So we want to kind of get out, get moving, and then really quickly try and pick who we're going to go for.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is FightFest, and what a fantastic lineup we have for you for this event. My name is JP McKinley, and I will be your commentator for this event. But enough about me. Let's move on to our first fight.
Here we go, Annihilator, first round in 3, 2, 1, fight!
As all 3 spinners try and get their best up to speed, as Lunatic 2 doesn't care about the spinners. They're coming straight for Telekinesis. Telekinesis doesn't seem to have their weapon fully up to speed yet. Impact coming right behind Telekinesis, almost getting a good flip, and Combustion having a bit of a go at Telly there. And Impact definitely sticking to their game plan. They're not shy about having a go. Telekinesis' weapon was down for a second, but they're getting it back up to speed. Combustion hanging back, and Straddle with a massive impact. Attack on Impact there, and now Straddle doing a bit of breakdancing in the middle. And again, Telekinesis' weapon seems to be down, but Combustion is trying to stay out of action. And Impact getting another huge damage from Straddle, until he getting flipped back over from a bit of impact there. Straddle just trying to drive over everyone. Combustion trying to stay out of the way, but Lunatic 2 is not letting him stay out of. But look at the damage on Impact. Impact has got a huge amount of damage from this. Telekinesis definitely struggling. to keep the weapon up to speed on him. Combustion. And it looks as if that's the fight's over. Lunatic 2 is in the pits.
On an archaeological dig recently, I discovered this ancient piece of 1700s farming machinery, fueled by the soul of a Greek warrior named Hoplite. It's a bit of a blast from the past. It's last competed in 2014, originally built by Craig Collias, famous for robots such as Gabriel on Robot Wars, but it's had a bit of an overhaul to some more modern specs.
So this is the original toothless robot, which some people may recognise, has been driven by my daughter Felicity. It is the current FRA Gladiator champion. We have a new toothless currently being built. So this is the old chassis which I repurposed, and unfortunately Felicity can't be with us today, so I have brought my trusted sidekick who is going to be driving Fight Fury.
This is Explosion. It's probably one of the older machines here today. It's one of the sort of long-standing pneumatic flippers in the featherweight class.
Tell us a little bit about your past achievements.
Yeah, so I mean, we normally talk about Robot Wars, but since Explosion's here, this is kind of our prized possession, really. So Explosion won the World Championships, then the International Championships 3 years back to back. So in this competition here with all the featherweights, and then lots of teams that were also in those competitions, it's really got a big target on its back.
So Neon is full weight limit, but it was designed to fight heavyweights. As you say, it was actually originally meant for a Chinese heavyweight competition. So yeah, it's quite fun in a featherweight arena.
This is Euphoria. It's named after the Eurovision Song Contest because I have no dignity. It's here for its second FightFest competition now after getting third place in its first appearance at FightFest. It beat some nice UK live circuit spinner champions, and then got this one little scratch in the semi-final and a wire came loose, so it came third. But hopefully this time it's going to work properly.
So the point of having HDPE wheels rather than something a bit more solid is HDPE, especially when it's this thickness-ish, bends. So if something like Neon hits me with its full-speed, super awesome spinner, rather than taking chunks off me like it will do with most other robots, the intention is that it'll actually bend the wheels round and back into place.
With a weapon like this, Neon tends to lose the most by throwing itself out. It likes to be a helicopter. So I'm quite looking forward to that, because when this thing gyro dances, it's completely uncontrollable. So I'm not able to stop it from ejecting itself if it wants to.
We're worried about anything that goes in the arena. If the second you're not worried about your opponents, you've got too big-headed, and that's when you're going to lose. So you've got to take on everyone and plan for them all.
So in an Annihilator, it's definitely more a game of survival, but also I think all of my opponents are very well built to survive. Neon is probably the biggest attacker. Rear's robot, Hoplite, can just go for days. You won't kill it unless you put it in the pit. Explosion can throw you out at any time. So generally the strategy with an Annihilator is to hide, but I'm not sure I can risk it with this. If it goes to a judge's decision and it hasn't done enough, then, So I think I'm going to have to try and focus my attacks on Neon. Somebody's got to do it.
My one actual concern for loss is this thing controls madly, and I'm used to things that are a bit more, with the Beetles and Heavies that I've piloted before, a bit more measured, whereas this is kind of like 15 wild horses that you're trying to hold at bay at once. So she's a mad beast, but if we can tame her, she might just win.
Well, let's hope that you can tame that almighty beast that is Hoplite, because I can tell you will have your hands full with that machine. And we are away. Neon gets up to speed. Hoplite straight across the arena trying to take on Explosion. Euphoria and Toothless having a go, but Hoplite is already heading towards the pits, and it looks as if the 15 horses is bolted. And that is it for Hoplite. It's an extremely fast fight, but Hoplite is in the pits, and unfortunately for them, that is their fight over and done with.
So.
And here we are now, back with the first group with Straddle, Telekinesis, Combustion. Definitely going to be feeling a little outnumbered now. Two spinners, very slow on the spin up. Straddle and Impact is making its way, but it's already smoking as it clips the wall. That is not good for Telekinesis. Impact taking it on head on, and this is what the rest of them would like to have seen. But Combustion and Straddle are very standoffish in the middle of the arena. They don't want to really take on each other, if anything, and it seems to me that they're all very standoffish, and this isn't what we want to see, boys. This is Combat Robots. Come on, Impact's the only one that's taking on Telekinesis here. Telekinesis, absolutely. It must be an ESC fire from one of the weapon loaders. But yeah, Combustion finally taking on Impact, and Straddle taking on Telekinesis. And Combustion and Straddle going at it. There's sparks flying. Combustion goes across the arena and breakdancing, and there's Impact doing a backflip in the excitement. Straddle dishing out some huge blows there to its competitors, but look at the damage already to Straddle's wheels. There's bits hanging off everywhere. Telekinesis playing a very, very and that's a massive hit from Combustion. These guys do not hang about when it comes to dishing out the punishment. And Impact again receiving a massive hit, and Combustion now going at Straddle. These guys have definitely picked up the pace when it comes to dishing out damage. That wedge is hanging off Impact. Straddle now trying to absolutely clamber over Combustion. Combustion just narrowly avoiding Straddle, the spinner of Straddle, turning right and throwing Combustion across the arena. And that seems to have rendered them, yes, they are now immobile. The count has started. Telekinesis somehow survived that there without a weapon. And Straddle dancing around in victory, but there's still a long way to go. And unfortunately for Combustion, that is them out. Oh, what a fight! Some huge hits on that fight. And over we go now to Group 2 for their second fight with Euphoria, Toothless, Neon, and Explosion.
Fight!
Neon getting up to speed. Toothless and Euphoria come to the middle of the arena to try and take it on, but Neon dancing around. And they have been head off Toothless, but Neon is in grave danger and have just evicted themselves from the arena. And that is what they were fearful of. But with such a powerful weapon comes grave responsibility, and they have absolutely just thrown themselves out of the game. And that's Euphoria, Toothless, and Explosion through to the next round. But that's all for this episode, unfortunately, folks. Stay tuned for the next one. Also, keep a note in your diary for the 9th and 10th of July for the Labman Summer 2022 fights, facts, stats, and other commentary. See you next time.